Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Triple Threat Comics YouTube channel. I'm your host, Ian Miller. Tonight we have a slew of topics to talk about from our guest. Uh, I just heard some of it, very exciting. I'll let him tell you about it. Please welcome back a very good friend of mine, the star inker of Triple Threat Comics titles, Conan Hunter by yours truly, and Solar Racer by my partner, Enrique Lopez. Please welcome the talented, the unstoppable Enrique Lopez.
And solely racist by Eric Hernandez. You did it again, bro. You actually said, yeah, you went and said created by Enrique Lopez. No. I love to take credit for that.
I apologize. I am so sorry.
It's funny. Every time we do the show, it's the same thing, man. It's funny. I know I seem to take over everything, but it's okay. I am in my prime, so.
I hope he forgives me.
No, we go. Anyway, how we doing, Ian? How we doing?
We are doing fine. We are doing just great. For those of you who don't know, Enrique inks Conan Hunter for me. He's inking issue 4, and I owe him a couple of pages right now, so I can actually send you a couple of pages with the next day or so because I'll be able to finish it.
All right. That's good.
And like I said, he also does Eric Hernandez is my friend Eric Hernandez's Solar Racer. So yeah.
I should have brought. Let me see if I. Where's that? Oh crap!
Oh. Well, folks, we're having technical difficulties right now. Don't know what happened there. Probably they don't know what happened. So.
No, it's okay. I'm back.
Okay, good.
I'll put this back here. Let's see why. No. Why am I not showing up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
No, I don't know why I'm not showing. Oh, wait. No, it should be seeing me. I don't know why I'm not showing up.
I don't know either.
Okay, pull me out. Let me pull me back out.
Okay. Yeah, so folks, while we wait for Enrique to come back, yeah, like I said, he's been doing Conan Hunter for me, issue 4, and he was very gracious to offer services, and of course I accepted. And I'm very pleased that I did because he's done tremendous work so far, and I'm very looking forward to all of you seeing issue 4 as we envision it. So, yeah. As I said in a previous episode, issue 3 is a little delayed, obviously, for reasons I mentioned, but I will make sure that it gets done as quickly as possible, and we have a release date officially. Here he comes.
There we go. I got to readjust the camera a little bit because now all you can see is my bald head. So I'll fix that. There we go.
All right. Okay.
It's still an ugly bastard. It's okay.
So, Enrique, please tell us what's new and what's going on.
Not much is going on really right now. Right now, I'm in my middle of my hiatus. Like I said, I'm working on for Ian. I'm doing the pages for the upcoming issue 4. I wanted to pull out here. We were just talking about Solar Racer, so I'm actually started doing some attempts at the first pages here, so you can actually get a little preview of that right there. That's like, the thing about Eric is Eric has a total disregard for blank areas, and he thinks that as an inker I should really suffer through these things. So and it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun to do. So I played a little bit around here to get the textures right and stuff. So we finally got that first one to get going there. Actually, let me see if I can light it up a little more. There we go. Now we can see a little better there.
Yeah. This is great work, folks. This is great work.
Yep. And so right now, I'm like in the middle of getting ready to move out of this studio here, and I'm going to be moving into my new studio at the end of March.
Oh.
So I'm like taking a break off most of the stuff, doing a lot more writing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's a reason for that. We'll go into that a little later. But so yeah, it's like, and then I'll start my tour on February, I believe it's February 13th. I think it is our first show back. No, not I mean May. Yeah, May.
Okay.
May 7th. I'll be at Forest Hills. That'll be my first show of the year. So it's really the latest I've ever started a year on the road. So, but I needed the break. I mean, originally I was supposed to have the house in December, but it didn't happen that way. So, and then of course the other day I got hurt and I got my ankle messed up and then I got my toe messed up and then my hand messed up. It's like every time I read about everybody saying their artist is going through some kind of health issue, I go like, well, why does that happen? Well, then it happens to me. I'm like, well, I guess I know now. It's just, especially when your writing hand and your drawing hand gets messed up, like it's not the best deal.
Yeah.
But then, of course, it's like I was telling Ian a moment ago, it's like, how cool is this? As my 13-year-old self gets a note, it's like gets giggly because I show everybody my little new for my carnal tunnel issue, and I get a note from Larry Stroman who says, "Hey, I wear that." That looks like mine, the one I wear. So I'm like, how cool is that? It's just one of those very fun things. So yeah, but that's why right now I just finished a Kickstarter, which was Might, Magic, and Monster in Laws, that was funded, and that one has a really interesting story.
Mm-hmm.
And I did along with Joe Critelli Jr. and he did the illustration and coloring. He did everything. I just wrote it, and Carlos Mangual, who does a lot of lettering for DC and Marvel, he's been lettering me everything for me. So I believe you have one of the two pages that this sent it to you. I think
Yeah.
you'd have,
Hold on a second. This is the sci-fi one, right?
no, the other one, the fantasy one.
Oh, the fantasy one. Oops. Okay, let me figure, folks. Here it is. Here it is. It's the Whisper in the Wind. That's right. Hold on.
Yeah, it's just supposed to be much easier having you do it.
Yeah. And here it is, folks.
Yeah, that's the title page of A Whisper in the Wind. Now, this funny thing about this story has characters that were created by me in the 80s. When I was in college, I wrote this sci-fi story and fantasy stories. And this one is actually one that it was not completely written in the 80s, but the characters were developed from the 80s. So this one was bringing in the ideas for the first time to be seen in print. And then if Ian shows the next page, this is the big reason why I wanted to do this story. Is because at the very end of this 10-page story that we did, we see the character that is central to the concept of the whole storyline at that point. And
Yeah, this one.
that's it. Yeah. So the name of this character is Bolin Hinchcliffe, which is basically, I like the name Conan, obviously. So we could have put Conan anywhere. So I was trying to find a play on that. So when I was playing Dungeons and Dragons, my guy was named Bolin. So I go, okay, so that's where that comes from. Now, Hinchcliffe is actually, I think I saw a book was written by an author whose actual last name had Heinz and Clive in it. And I was like, man, that could be a good combination. So I actually used a name like that. But if you see the very thing at the end, it says there at the end, it says, the saga continues in the Chronicles of Galen, coming in the spring of early 2024. So basically what we're looking at is that I'm looking to expand a little bit the brand and bring in some of these characters into the fold. I can't reveal the names or anything on how I'm going to be doing that. But within that, if Ian has it up, let me see if you can bring up the Chronicles.
Let me see if I can find it. I found it. Hold on. And here it is.
Yeah, so that's the logo of that book that's going to be coming out, hopefully by 2024, the beginning. It's called the Chronicles of Galen, featuring Bolin Hinchcliffe. It'll have multiple stories of different characters, uh, so you can enjoy the saga as a whole in that moment to learn about the different characters that we involved in our bigger storylines. So I think this would be a nice introduction for everybody, and that'll be out hopefully in 2024. The logo here was created by I developed the idea, but the actual final work was from a friend of mine, Darren Wiltshire. He's done logos for DC and Marvel and all this kind of stuff for years. So I'm very fortunate that he helped me to do this, and he's doing all my other stuff for me that I want. So, which in now we're going to jump over to the big development in that with the change of venue where I am, I'm actually creating a new brand. So now, if you've seen my out there, it's called. I'm usually under Art by Kike, but now because I want to involve so much other stuff within it, I'm expanding the name now to a new logo, to a new name, and it's not that much different. We're just adding another word to it. So I'm going to be now. It's going to be known under Art by Kike Studios. The whole idea is that whenever my daughter finishes her college degree and stuff that she wants to do projects, she'll be able to do it under that banner. And anything else I want to create under that will also be under that banner. You'll be seeing it now from now on. This is one of the versions. This is also also was developed by Darren, and then so as you can see, it's got the Art by Kike, which has always been the name, and then Studios. And the idea I wanted to show that as an inker, primarily, that's what I wanted to show it off, like the quill pen that I normally use. So even though I can do regular work, it's always like if people have seen it, always sign Kike with an exclamation point. I thought that would always be the look there. And this is the main coloring version. There's another one that has blue and the one that has black. So you'll be seeing this now on all my banners when I go on the road, starting now in May. So for now, it'll be easy to identify me. You'll be seeing those big banners on my table and behind me. So hopefully that's going to be a new chapter for me. So to develop a little bit more of the brand. That does not take anything away from my work with Triple Threat. No, not taking away my work from Power Comics. And it won't take anything away from my work at Marvel and DC if it ever shows up. So it's like, because when you think about it, when Image came out, they still had, like, Jim Lee had Wildstorm Studios, and everybody, and Eric had his own studio, and Valentino had his studio. So it's basically the same idea. I just wanted to formalize it a little more and make it, mostly for tax purposes, because everything's going to start moving in that direction. So, so let's see what happens from now on. I have big plans and big ideas, and it's just very fortunate that I've been able to, over these last few years, create a lot of connections and friendships and stuff what I can tell you that my good friend Keith Williams will be involved in some of this stuff. So, of course, he promised to give me a good deal, but we'll see about that. But no, it's going to be a lot of fun. I was already talking to Ian here about an idea I got, and he was like, "What?" So it's like, so we'll see what happens. But the thing is that right now you're not seeing a lot from me. But mostly because, like I said, I'm working towards getting all these concept stuff done, etc. It's going to be a long road. Like I said, 2024 is a target, but there are a whole bunch of other ideas in the works. I'm looking that before we even get there in October, I have a plan to have a book up and ready for October. So I want to have that. So that one's going to be published separately, but under another banner of stuff that Ian and I already spoke about. But the whole idea is that I want to get that one done to get everything going. I hope to have that one ready for a New York Comic Con exclusive. I'm for that show. If not, I'll probably have it as an exclusive when I do my show in Cincinnati, the Cincinnati Comic Expo. And for me, it's important to have the book ready because I'm a guest for that show this year. I was there 2 years ago. It's like I go every other year.
Yeah.
Um, this year, the biggest guest is Jim Lee. I gotta be sure that when I bump into Mr. Lee,
Yes, I
I
agree.
some stuff in mind. Oh, what? Let me here. Take this. Here, my card's inside. All my info. Here, enjoy it. Enjoy it. You know, we laugh, but you cannot imagine how many times that works. Because
That is true.
they're out there and they're looking at stuff. And if all of a sudden something falls in their lap and go like, whoa, I need somebody for Batman. Look at this guy. But I know that I'm spoken to editors that it has happened. Sometimes they're in a crunch and they go like, what you got there? Oh, this guy. Well, let's give him a chance. You're there. What are you going to do? Okay. You never know. I've always said that my goal has never been to work for the big two. It's never been that. My goal has always been to produce the best stories to my abilities and have people just get a chance to read them and enjoy them. The other day I was on another show, and I don't want to confuse his name because right now I can't remember his name exactly. He's another writer.
Mhm.
He said something during the conversation that was great that I said, you know what, I got to really look into that. He tells me that whenever he writes, between writing a novel or writing a comic book, he says, I'm always looking to see which of the two mediums is the best medium to do for that story. Because not all stories, he says, for sometimes comics work well for certain things, movies work for certain things, but sometimes you take a comic, say, oh, let's make it a movie, and it won't work because the way it's created, it won't work. Or some people say, let's take this movie and make it a comic book. It won't work the same way because you're looking like, you can do a comic book for John Wick comic book, but
Yeah.
will it have the same visual effect? You can make it, but it's still, comics are still medium. So yeah, it'll look nice, but it won't have the veracity, that vitality you see on the screen. So the screen's a better place for it.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you're not doing it in a novel. Doesn't mean you can't do it in a comic. But in that case, the number one medium would be motion picture. So I'm thinking like, whoa, if I'm thinking of that, when I wrote some of the stuff was written as a novel, I'm going like, wow, if I take it to comics, will it work? Will it translate the same way? What's stuff? So now these stories that I'm writing lately are now I'm focusing more like, let's look at the medium I'm in and see if it's going to work well. And so the story I did for Not So Fair Tales, I try to do some of that to say, okay, I wanted to be visual enough to thinking of a movie, but can I translate it enough to give some of the effect that if it were a movie, how would it be able to see that?
Mm.
So there's the third page of the story. You see the characters are divided by this chasm.
Yeah.
And can you put that in a movie? Yeah, you probably could, but it looks well on a page because you got it concentrated, you got these shadows and everything working. So I'm like, yeah, that is making this look better for that. Though I'll tell you, that's gonna, when I do the writing, the lettering and gets in there, it's gonna roll credits like starting off like a movie. So I'm making it feel like it's almost like a movie when to see the credits coming in. And that story was done. Those are the ones you have over there. That was done by Ben Worrell. He's actually doing a lot of great work out there. So and he will be part of other stuff of mine. So I got him. I mean, right now the people I have who have spoken to me, they're interested. It's just I'm flabbergasted of the amount of people that have come up to me and said, if ever you do this kind of stuff or you do this kind of, I want to get involved, and go like, funny you should mention that. So I mean, and almost everybody I've spoken to have said yes to wanting to work with me in some capacity, and I'm trying to figure out where each one is working the best. Like, for example, one of the artists I wanted to work with me, Jay Foskett, because of his cartoon style. Unfortunately, he's busy for the next 5 years. Really? I said, really? 5 years? Yeah, man, I'm telling you, I'm so lucky that you are lucky. But then and I was like, when I spoke to him, oh man, I had you down for this project. He goes like, oh my god, did we actually agree to something I forgot about? Because no. It's like I just wanted you to do so. Oh, because the way you wrote it, I was like, oh my god, I'm doing a commit. I was committed to something. Oh shit. No. But he sent me a note for somebody else. He says, well, if you can't use me, use this person. And I'm like, and so we're working on that one too. So it's just a lot of fun to be getting all these things done for now. So while I wait for pages for Codename Huntdown, I gotta be distracted doing other things because I cannot be twiddling my thumbs while somebody unnamed individual gets me pages to work on.
I'm the guilty party, folks. I really am the guilty party because this is all on me because I'm doing a lot of projects myself. I said this obviously to the viewers in the last few episodes. So yeah, I didn't think I was going to be this busy. I really didn't think so.
No, it's just the way it is, man. And I can go back to other projects I'm hoping to get done that are on a standby because my good friend Matt Parton, Matt and I, we are part of a group of guys that we met at a Panera in 2018.
Mm.
That group was myself. It was Christian Espiritu Santo, Tevin Gomez, Matt Buttich, Joe Ryan, Matt Parton, myself, and there was somebody else. There was another artist, which I don't know, it disappeared from the face of the earth. And there was one guy who wanted to be our agent, which I said no. But the thing is that at that time, I was looking at everybody involved. I was because we wanted to be the new image. We wanted to do a new image, and we ended up not doing any of that. But looking at the time, and my arrogance is sort of, well, I'm going to be the biggest one of these guys here. Who's number two? And for me, I always looked at Matt to be the guy. He's not the flashiest guy with artwork, for example, but it works for everything. And he's done so much stuff, and now he's working for Netflix, designing a character for the Rick Moranis Monster High School thing. He's got one character he's going to work on. He's got a kid's book that's being published in a few weeks. He just got nominated for new outstanding children's book artist, and that was only 5 years ago.
Wow.
And now I'm saying, now you're carrying me because we're doing the Valentine Bluffs fan film was finally released last week. And we show up in the credits, which was freaking out. It's like we're giving thanks to, I feel like we're in the Marvel. I say thanks to we got thanks because we're doing the comic book. Matt and I are actually going to be doing a 12-page book of the movie. So, but he's been delayed because of all the other projects. So we got to get it done eventually.
Yeah.
So so I'm still working with him on that, and we have other stuff that he and I had talked about years ago doing together, and it's being put in the back burner. It got to the point that he said, why don't you start drawing it? I go, no, it's your baby. You're going to draw it. You're going to write. I'm just going to ink and I'll color, So now it's to the point that some of the ideas I'm doing for my studio, that concept of his is going to be falling into my studio. So we're going to work together as part of the 2024, 2025 stuff that's coming up. So it's just like, yeah, I'm going to write his coattails. It's like, yeah, I'm going to take advantage of that, So no, it's just Matt is probably the best example of never downing your talent, never downing your drive. And he's done his own, like you're doing, Ian. It's just a one-man operation. If it takes him 100 days to do it, it takes him 100 days. If it takes him 3 days, he'll take him through that side. And it's just great. I'm so proud of him. It's funny that 5 years ago we did that Star Wars mashup that I came up with the idea, and he did the drawing. I did the inking, and then I got DC Alonso, who's now doing Star Trek for he works for Marvel. He has the colorist for that. So I feel like I'm the guy who's falling behind. Everybody else is moving on. I gotta get back. onto this stuff. Um, so it's great. I mean, it's very fortunate. For me, just to have been published already is great, but it's like now I want to see what else I can do to bring in some more of all the stuff I did many years ago, and hopefully set a stage for my daughter to feel like she can do. Because she's always like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, fine. Once I have the art studios up
Yeah,
and everything is going to be linked to it, you got a place to. You don't have to worry about where am I going to get published. Yeah, you got it. Dad's going to give it to you. You got that there, so don't worry about it. So, and she has ideas. I mean, she just hasn't pushed them out there. I already told her, if you're not going to push that idea, I'm going to take it from you. I'll do it myself. I'll write it there and get it done, and you finish it. So
yeah. But that's great. The fact that she's gonna be able to, to publish something, under your own brand. She wanted to worry about that. That's fantastic. I love hearing stuff like this because it just goes to show you that everyone deserves a chance. That's what it boils down to. And I'm just excited for you. I'm really excited for you about that and then the other projects.
yeah, and the name you see my Instagram going by. I still gonna have it that way. It may change it to add the studio at the end if it's available to do or not. It's gonna stay that way. My link tree, it's gonna change in the sense it's gonna have studios at the end. It's already created. Have a website domain already set up. Our by Kika Studios is already set up. The thing is, I have to develop the site.
Yeah.
It's part of the things to do because I want to be able to put a store in it, so people can order prints from it and everything. So I don't have to just be on the road for everything,
Yeah.
and move some of this merchandise that I have sitting around here,
Yeah.
one way or another. Because now that I'm moving to a new studio, I'm going, oh my god, I got to carry all these boxes, and stuff there. But anyway, I'm gonna pull the cat out of the bag for a second here. Yeah, didn't we just do something together that you haven't shown yet?
Yes, we did.
Did you get to finish it?
I have finished a lot of the colors. I can show them in progress, which is always good.
Yeah.
So, folks, before you show this, I will do a little background story here. As many of you know, I'm working on a fan comic, Batman Enigma, which is the unofficial third sequel to Tim Burton's Batman films. And I'm currently working on the third issue. The artwork is almost done. So I was doing thumbnails for the cover, and Enrique asks me, and truth be told, I was actually thinking of asking Enrique if he wanted to do it. So, yeah. So he did the inking, and I'm just doing the colored version. So let me show you the colored version. That's how the color version looks right now.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, he did a fantastic job making this. Yeah, the colors. I just wanted to go big with the colors, so that's what I did. But I want to make sure that we were missing none of the line work because that was very important.
Yeah, it was one of those interesting projects, to be honest. Um, and to be honest, it took me months to do because I started first with a cityscape,
Yeah,
which for me was a lot of fun. It had a very Lee Weeks kind of feel to it.
yeah,
And I liked it, and I really enjoyed it. I really got into that one. I remember talking to him and talking to Ian. I said, Ian, what? I think these waves are too long, they're too large, man. This looks like a tidal wave is coming. Well, there is a storm. We're like, yeah, but I don't know about that. So I actually, and some of this stuff I actually did some changes to, and I was given free reign on that. So the water is one of those things I actually did. I looked for a cityscape of New York, and I superimposed it on the computer so I could see how the water worked from the back distance to the front, and that's how I did all the details. So all the waves in the back are really really thin. So it starts coming up to the front. You can actually see all the waves moving around, and then the idea was to give our logos like a little bit of a shadow in there in the water. So and then the first the first of the characters I did was the Riddler,
Yeah.
and the line work that Ian did was great for the Riddler. The Riddler was really solid. The only thing I was looking at was the only adjustment I did was the collar and the tie. I put it a little more down to the profile so you can see more of the neck coming up, and you can see like that form is there. And then I played with the hair a lot. I really enjoyed doing the hair stuff there to
Yeah.
give it a nice little wavy look and stuff. And then I jumped over to Batman, and then that's when I actually had to call Ian, and I spoke to him. Ian, what? Uh, I find that the size of the Batman is not proportion. I think it could be bigger compared to the. It needs to be bigger to be compared to the Riddler. So
Yeah.
they look the same. It was a little bit smaller. Um, so I went there, and then he said, "Okay, go ahead." So I basically took the measurements of the head on the other side and then made the same size. But I did a lot of reference. I looked at the action figure of Michael Keaton I got, and looked at that from all angles. And then I sent him this is how I look at the character of the Batman before I did anything final. He was like, "Bro, were you looking at a picture? What the hell, man? That's the cow." Oh yeah, I got the figure here. I'm actually looking at it as a reference with the lighting and everything. So I wanted to be able to see, because you have this fire. I said, how is that going to reflect on all this stuff? And
Yeah.
that's why I try to get the back and all that kind of stuff. So I left it pretty open, and then I went digitally. All I can to the skull. I did that full inks inside as well. It was a lot of fun. He gave me a picture illustrated by Bernie Wrightson, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna follow that. You can't go wrong with that. So, but then when it came time to do the cloud, all the flames and everything, I was like, I went back to my black and whites of Conan the Barbarian, Savage Sword of Conan, and looking for how Ernie Chan, all these guys did that flame to make it. That's why the flames at the bottom had that. In black and white, you don't think you can see it here because they're very light now in the back, but in the black and white, you have that really solid look for the flame, and then little details in it to give it like a crackle on it, and then all the smoke and the flame and and all that effect. Ian had done a really nice job on the original Blue Line, and I was like, I could do better. Let me mix it even better for him. And then what I did, I went into my Photoshop, and that's the only thing I did digitally. I went into Photoshop. I have these pens that I use for when I do flames and kind of stuff like that, and I just played with it and played with it and played with it, and until I gave it a form that it will look good in black and white. And so I said, okay, now if he colors it, he'll have a good foundation
Yeah.
to run with it. So, do you still have the black and white in there?
I do. It's on a separate thing, but let me show you the black and white, folks. And trust me, it's quite a doozy. We'll just pull that up. Okay. Bada boom, bada bing, bada boom. And press down. Here's the original black and white.
Right. So you can see the colors really enhance it and stuff. But here I was playing like, again, I didn't want to. I gave him just that gray layout,
Yeah.
that flat line. So to give him, you can see some of the details I did there in the black, because I didn't want to over push it. Because if I did a version all black, just with highlights and stuff, I go like, well, he wants to put some color in there, so maybe I shouldn't go too hard on it. So I left it up there for him, and then everything else was solidly done in there. You can see the smoke as it's coming up in the white, and the details of the flame, the little crackles and stuff in there. So I kind of figured they might get obscured by color, because that happens and stuff. But that's why they're light. But on the I think I used, maybe on that one was I think I used a 1, or I think it was a 1, very small pen. So but I really like the way the cloud comes out. I wanted to give it a very nuclear feel, like it almost like an explosion had happened.
Yeah.
And one time I actually drew, and I felt I was overstepping my bounds. I actually drew hands claws over the characters. But I took it out at the end because I said, no, that's not in the original picture. It's like, I was overstepping there. I said, no, I'm not doing that. So I go, we'll leave it at this. So it came out really good, and I was really happy to help with this. And like I said, it took me a long time to get it done because I stopped because of I was not feeling well. I had gone through a slight bit of, I wouldn't call it depression, but basically I got beat up by an agent, and it really shook my confidence. And I was like, I can't do this shit anymore. And I was really wondering how I was even going to keep going. But then I did that story with for the Not So Fair Tales, and I inked over Ben. And then when I showed it to everybody with my tonal coloring, they were like, bro, this is like off the chain, man. This is really good. And I'm like, okay, so maybe I still can do this stuff. So then I came back to this. And then, like I said, the first thing I did was the Riddler, and it came out so clean. I was like, whoa, this looks good. Okay, we're going. Let's go. And then I did it like in a few days. The rest of it was done really, really fast.
Yeah.
Because Ian was saying, where is it? You're late. Okay, man, okay. I take time here. I give you the stuff. Hurry up. Okay, man. Okay.
I did not come after him with a baseball bat or a crowbar, folks. That was not what happened. All right. And if you say that it did, lies, all lies.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
No, but I appreciate you doing this. It looks fantastic. I can't wait, for the people to see the final product, and I can't wait to actually make this a poster so that you and I can sign at conventions along with all of our Code Name Hunter stuff. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
Yeah, but the colors are looking great. Everything's looking good, man. So feeling the love. Yeah, I guess. Look, I was talking about the Chronicles of Galen, and one of the things, like, again, I'm trying to work things in, and I am so slow now because I'm trying to look at every little detail I'm drawing. And so what I wanted to do for this is, like, basically there's an issue. I want to make sure it doesn't fall off. Right? No, I'm here. Let me just pull it up. Let's pull it up. Why does it keep going to the thing here? Hold on. There we go. Let me see if I can pull this out of here. There we go. Good. Yeah, I'm trying to put this up here because I look too fat on the other section. Yeah, so one of my favorite covers of all time is this cover that Mike Grell did years ago for Warlord #3. I mean, when this came out,
yeah.
There we go. And when this came out, I really fell in love with comics again because I had stopped reading comics for a while. And I picked this up at a pharmacy. Yeah, when you used to buy comics at pharmacies, kids, you would go to Walgreens to get your comics. No, I have to go anywhere else. So this was how we used to do it. I saw that, and so I bought that book, and then obviously my love for comics rekindled again. Now, so looking back at this, I've always wanted to see what can I do with that. So the story that's one of the story that you see in Mike Magic has the ending, which Bolin comes to the city and he says, "I'm here at the behest of King Barry, King Barry being Barry Kitson, who was one of the first guys who gave me a chance to ink something of his over there with my ass rail." So I thought I'll give him a little nod there, and I hear you have a creature problem. So there's this story that I'm going to have. There'll be like certain wolf creatures and stuff like that. And I thought, man, if I could do a pinup, what would it be of? So I'm working on this right now. We got my character and I'm working on it there. So I'm trying to bring it to life now. My hope is to have the actual Mike Grell do that cover. So we'll see if that is a possibility. And I'll ink over him. And so I don't see why not. I've spoken to him already. So it's like, I'm gonna meet up with him again at Heroes,
Oh,
and so we'll see. I might have news then. So, but anyway, this I actually was looking at these things, and you can't see it because of the screen the way it works, but the line work I did down here in all this part here with the tree has a lot of Bernie in it. You know, a lot of those details I like to use that
yeah.
he did. So I'll give that, and of course the creature has a lot of those. Try to bring that in there. But yeah, so I'm still working on it, you know, because you're looking at this creature here, it's a different angle, different strength than mine. So, but I like the idea that the character looks pretty cool in this position. So that's something for 2024, people. You'll see it hopefully sometime then. So
Ah, that is fantastic. That is fantastic. I'm flabbergasted by all these exciting projects that you'd be going to start with. So,
yeah, and it's like the everything's hopefully we'll keep moving on here with a triple threat.
yeah.
Um, I should be doing some stuff hopefully sometime this year, if not next year, for Power Comics. Um, that's the group of guys that I'm very fortunate to be working with, like with Keith Williams, Alex Subig is in there, Mike Grell is there, Darren Banks is in that group, Bob Allman, Tom Morgan. I mean, Joe Rubenstein. You're like, it's such a great group. Andrew Peepoy, our Baltasar is in that group, and then me. They needed a token guy who's the token crappy guy. Yeah, he is. Yeah, I'll be the guy who's the unknown guy. Yeah, that's it. So that's
Um,
that for a while. I got no problem with that. So yeah, so and in here, which we're not going to show anything, is in here are the pages of Code Name Hunter. Yay! The ones I've actually done.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, no.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff being done here. I still got to put more lines in here. And you know, at this rate, I might have to do them again because I'm getting better again. So I might have to redo a few pages. I don't know.
If you have to, you have to. Okay. Um, if you feel that you're not satisfied with something, yeah, I'm giving you permission right now to go over.
And you redo them. No, I mean, there's some things here already. One panel I know I'm going to fix, but overall, most of them, yeah, they're actually pretty good. My work was done. The good thing about Ian is that he is very specific about what he wants, and I try to, in the most occasions, keep it all. I will make a fix or two there, but it's mostly I will, so people will see his style. You know, like stuff like this is fairly standard. You know, he tells me, "Well, you're just unlucky. You're getting the talkie issue. You'll get more action eventually." You go, okay, thank
Well,
you.
I can't say this. I will say this though. We're getting towards the end of the talkie in this particular issue. There's going to be some action towards the end of the issue,
All right.
so you guys see some deals.
You say so. No, I mean, like the only thing, the latest, actually, what got me beyond the story for the pit, which is the one coming out in Not So Fair Tales. That was supposed to launch now in March, but John Enningfield, who runs that project, has another thing going on at the same time. His Rancidville is running,
Yeah.
so he didn't want to overlap them, which makes a lot of sense. So we're looking more of a summer shot, and I think it's great because I think summer is a good time to get kids involved, and it's going to be about fables and stuff. So I think that project is done in the sense that I haven't handed in my files because I'm still doing some cleaning up on my dialogue and stuff, and I'm trying. Carlos right now he's going through a little bit of a bout as well of COVID, so he needs a break, and I'm giving him no rush. So I'm trying to get certain things out now that the Art by Enrique Studios has been announced. Now I can integrate it into some of the stuff I wanted into that story, and so I got it. But the cool thing about that, once that project launches, it's actually done. Everybody's artwork is already in there, so all we're waiting for is the funds to print it.
Yeah.
So that one by the end of the year, you'll have fans will probably have it, unless there's a major, book like shipping issue or paper shortages and stuff like that. Under normal circumstances, that book gets printed super fast.
Yeah.
Last year, the first year we did it was really fast as well. So I'm looking forward to having that one out there. But on top of that, I also did. I don't know when it's going to launch, but it should be soon. The Inkwell Awards every year they do two different inking challenges. One is usually sponsored by either Marvel or DC, and that one is only for Marvel DC artists. If you're not part of their approved list, you're not going to get in. So for example, this year they had a Mike D'Amato Wonder Woman that the pros, the people who were chosen by DC were chosen to do that one. Then they have a second one, which is a regular challenge, in that all comers that they choose to come in, the Inkwell Awards chooses these that could be professionals, indie comics guys, or just people who have a passion for ink that are not, that's all they do, and they're not professional in the sense, are invited. And this year they had, I think it was like 55 of us doing it, and I was fortunate to ink over an Alex Selvig Spider-Man, and that one is actually, this is the drawing that we used, but there we go. My inked version, I had to send it in, so I forgot to post it up. But this is what. Let me see if I can. There we go. So that was what the image was.
Wow.
And then I did my own version. In that, when I did this, when I produced the blue line, I eliminated the webbing. That there's a webbing here that he's up here, and then the circle. I eliminated it from the version I did. So so I wanted to draw my own webbing. And I added it to the point that then the circle is actually webs all around it, and webs all around it. So it all connects the webbing. Then Alex drew the buildings, and then I added like a pool to one of them and some chairs. And I wanted to put like the Fantastic Four, but then I saw somebody else already do it. I was like, nah, I'm not doing it. I think Keith ended up putting the Avengers building in the back. Other people put a lot of stuff. I put like some little details all around and gave it a good background and stuff. Yeah. Originally, I wanted to do like webbing all around the image, and in the webbing you would read McKenna, Williams, Sanat, or who else? Colon, McFarlane, people who have inked Spider-Man at some time. And it just became a mess, so I dropped it. Then I figured out I could have done digitally, put the names in the background, like playing with it and stuff. And I'm like, but then it was like, could it be so complicated? And I was like, nah, I'll do that next time. So so that was a nice little thing. But it came out really, really nice. So I felt that I was coming back. I felt I was getting back in the groove and stuff. So hopefully, I'll get back in the groove and get a lot of this stuff done. Yeah. But what I did for your Batman, I was really proud of it. Proud of that Spider-Man. So some of the stuff that's coming out now kind of makes me feel like, okay, I feel like I'm back to where I was before I lost my nerve. And so, and I mean, my wife says, why do you let one person like get to you like that? It's like, I shouldn't do it, but it's like the nature of the beast for us, man. It's like we're all of us are just 1 second, one opinion away from losing it, at times, because it is such a lonely business at times. It's just you and the pen and the paper and doing stuff. And if all of a sudden you lose that feeling that you know what you're doing, it's like horrible. It's like a writer's block. It's just it's one of those.
Yeah, it's a mess. And I always use this Rocky Balboa quote. It ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
Yeah. And it's like, sometimes, it's frustrating because a lot of times I see on social media, and and I read certain people how they're getting down on themselves and stuff like that. I've been there and I do that. I know exactly, but I don't like to vent on it a lot out there. I try to do it myself, but every once in a while, I'll talk to you or something like, oh man, I'm going through this right now. I'll talk to Keith about it too. It's like um, we all go through it, man. It's just gotta get onto the other side of it a lot of times, and sometimes it's self done. We do it to ourselves. We get lost in our own minds,
Yeah.
and we get that paralysis, and it's horrible. So let's hope that I can get through some of this stuff. The thing right now is that I'm in that procrastinating mode, which I hate because I know I am. But it's like I know, like, I can't show you that all my plans are on this big sheet, and I look at all this stuff. I'm going like, am I biting too much off this? I'm like, when am I going to have time to do all this stuff if I'm doing this one? And that's the thing. As a writer, I could do a lot, produce a lot of stuff, but at the same time, I gotta be, I'm not gonna be that guy who says you can write 15 issues in one night. I'm not that. I think you need to produce quality stuff. If it takes me a year to write the thing that's going to work, it takes me a year. If by any chance it comes up and I can get it done in a night, great. But right now I'm interviewing editors. I want to be sure because I'm not looking for an editor to run the show, like making sure that's going. No, I'll do that. I just need somebody to look at my stuff and say, you're too hung up on this concept. Get this out of here. Yeah, this is working. No, this you need to expand more here and stuff to can reel me in, because as a writer, I feel like everything I do is right. Everything is perfect. This is all going to work. And then if not until somebody else reads it, they go like, what? No. So, and I can't, unfortunately, my wife doesn't like to read my stuff. She's not into this kind of stuff. So I can't really, and my daughter will read some of it. So she will do it. And she's just as nasty as I get. She'll tell me this sucks, man. Okay, fine. I mean, how do you really feel? No, and she was and I gotta say, she helped me with the logos, man. Like for my art by Kika, she liked the color. Though for that one, I did a study for the colors that I'm using for my art by Kika studio, especially the one I showed, was orange and the gold and stuff. I went like, well, let's see, let's do my marketing. I have an MBA. Let's figure it out. Okay, what are the coolest colors out there? What people are attracted to? And I started looking down the list. Yeah, these are combinations that work. And I started looking at other people's logos. Okay, this works. So those logos are going to, the way that was set up is to get people, whoa, because people are attracted to those orange and that yellow, that combination will catch people a lot. So I'm hoping that, because I told Darren, I want people to see it from the end of the convention. They got to be able to see it from back there. When they look at whoa, where is he? Oh, he's down there. That's what I'm looking for. When they see my table and coming up, they go, I see it. So I want to be able to be. Now I have it in blue, and very cool looking blue, and a black, because black is solid and it gives that. Blue is very hopeful and stuff, but the yellow is just like, hey, we are prime colors. Like in the sense we are prime, we're elite, because everybody associates gold with expensive, elite, important. So hopefully when you see that, and yellow and then orange is more like a flame. So you have yellow and orange, gives you that almost like a fire. Like, okay, so people go, whoa, this one is sizzling. It's like so I don't know. We'll see if it has any effect. Or maybe next year I'm on the show again. Next year, that logo sucks, man. We got to do it again. Nobody came to the table, man. What the hell? Yeah. No, but I doubt that. I think it's going to work. It looks good. It took a while. And I'll tell you, anybody who's looking to do any kind of logo work, Darren Wiltshire, if you want his info, give me a call. I'll send you to it. He's online on the Instagram and on Facebook. The guy's great. He's been working really well with me and at a very, very good price. There's a lot of, I've worked in advertising, so I know how much this stuff costs. And he's treated me well and very professional. And it's just great. I mean, he gives me options following because I'm the good thing about me is that I sent him already rough on what I'm thinking. Yeah. This is what I'm looking at. All right, this is what I'm looking at. And make it better, make it better. And but the Chronicles is almost like the way I came up with. He just made it look much better. He gave me the letters I wanted because he's really into a lot of fantasy, so he was like into that one immediately. I like it, but he came up with the idea of putting the when I talk about the featuring bullet, he came up with the idea of putting a little bit more in the corner of like this. I'm like, hey, because originally I had it like a really straight line.
Yeah.
I like that. Let's try this again, and it came out really nice. So, and the idea that Bowen Hinchcliffe lettering on that one and that combination works. But if I were to do it like a solo book, I have another version of Bowen Hinchcliffe that I think will flow better as a solo comic. But under Chronicles, that is the perfect line. It looks great. And so, and I said, and you already saw the other one. So that little target was my idea. So, so I'm really looking forward to some of this stuff. I hope there will be a market. I hope people will be out there, fans to like it. I think there will be. But like I said yesterday, it's like the thing is like how fast can I put these stuff out? How fast can I get it done? Right. Because yesterday I was watching the news, CNN,
Mhm.
and a news story came up, and I was like, "Whoa!" And I immediately put my notebook. I had a notebook, wrote it down, 2 sentences. That's a new story. And it's based off something I read, and I go like the character I showed you. I'm gonna go like, yeah, that's for those guys. It's like I'm thinking, okay, but this story cannot take place in this timeline. It has to be in this timeline when they're in this position and this moment in time. So now I'm gonna go with this. Who can we bring in? Boom. So I already have it done. The thing is now I have to sit down, write it, find somebody to draw it, and stuff. Um, and see how it gets going because now that's going to be part of another thing that I think I'm going to be doing. So we'll see, man. It's like we'll see. Hopefully, I'll have that another book done in October to be published through. That one I'm going to publish through Amazon. They have their own, the
Comixology.
their Kindle.
The Kindle, yeah.
Their Kindle thing they're going through there. Yeah. So, but you can publish it for Kindle, and they will also print to order. So I like that fact. Like the books I've done with John Muller, Horrendous and Stupendous, I get my own copies, but you can order them directly through Amazon as a digital for Kindle and stuff, or you can also have one sent to you. Problem is, he makes all the money there. I make mine on my copies that I sell. So, but when I come around and do my own book, then they'll all come to me. So. Well, that's going to be that's an interesting idea that I have, and I'm working on it. Again, let me see, where is that? No, it's not here. Is it here? Where are those? Here it is. Yeah. See, one of the things I'm thinking for that, I could show it here already. This already put this on Instagram, so it's not a problem to see it now. Mm-hmm. This will be in my book, something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but why is it there? What is it going on? Yeah, that's going to be in there. So, and then I started doodling this. This is not going to be in the book now because I don't like how it's coming out. But this is the whole idea that you're going to be seeing lots of stuff like that.
Okay.
So, but it's the concept that I'm trying to get in there, and hopefully, again, it's one of those things that I already spoken to an editor because once it's done, I'm going to send it to him. Look, tell me what's wrong or right with this thing, and they'll tell me, yep, this works. No, that sucks. Take this out, put this here and stuff. So it's a crazy idea, but I've always wanted to have a book out. So maybe this will be one way of getting it done. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. And I have a whole other things there of a sketchbook I'm trying to work on as well. So of live action models I've done. And hopefully it's time to, but that one will be more on the mature side because those for live stuff. So that's a little bit new to there. So, but I'm working on that one because that's one of those things that I did before. And I'm looking at them now. I know I'm improved. Now I got to redo them and make it look a little nicer, then move it down to another book for that one as well. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I like other friends of mine, like Uko Smith, who has a sketchbook every year. The guy's just a machine. I mean, just a machine. He's got a new coming out now for this year. He's got one every year. I used to do that every year. I used to have them out there, but I still have copies from years before. So I'm trying to sell stuff from before. They're not moving. I mean, the idea of the sketchbook is always fun. I always enjoy it. I mean, I always, when as a fan, would buy that because I found that in a sketchbook, yes, it's small sometimes, but you get that print you wanted. You basically get it in there plus other stuff. You know, I tell people, oh, we love the link and stuff. You know, you can get the link in the book. It's on the back cover, and the full color version. And he's in there, as well, plus a whole bunch of this stuff. And I want the print. Fine. Cost the same. But so yeah, so we'll see, man. We'll see how that it's all coming around. So, like I said, triple threat. I'm not going anywhere. I still need money. So
Okay, we got for you. All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for us for tonight's episode.
Why? What? It's been an hour. I usually do shows for 3 hours. What's going on, man? What's going on here?
Enrique, as always, it's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Hopefully next time I'll have lost 50 pounds. So let's see. The ones I've gained over this year and a half. So
it happens.
It happens, man.
Yeah.
Trying to grow my hair so people will say, "Hey, man, you got hair." They don't look at how fat I've gotten. So.
Dude, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You look fine. Yeah. All right.
You say it with love,
Always, man. Always. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. I'm Ian Miller. This has been Triple Threat Comics YouTube channel. Join me next week on the 26th. We're going to have Daniel Garcia on. He is a new writer, and he's going to tell us about his project. So look forward to that. It's at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, February 26th.
And hopefully by the time you see me next time on a convention, we'll have issue number 3 on the table. So the code name.
And 4.
84.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can get this done. All right. Thanks for having me again.
Have a good night, folks.